You're not on the field, court, or ice. You are on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Couch live from the WBGR Sports Network studios. I am your host, CWall, and I'm smiling so big and so bright because it is my favorite day of the week. It is Thursday, Friday Eve, however you like to call it, whatever you like to say about it. It is the day that we get to come up here and talk to you all about all that's happening in DC sports. In the studio with me, I have team members. Sabrina is here and Joy is here. And I'm going to put Sabrina on the spot real quick because she was out at the Nats game today just showing off. Who you think you are, all in the middle of the daytime?
I had a great time.
I'm sure you did. but I wasn't there. So, at least somebody from the CWall team was there. And she was it. So, she was out there enjoying herself. Oh, we're going to do something that's kind of like church announcements. So, it's a couple different things. One, if you haven't seen already, CWall Sports and Entertainment has now launched merchandise. Yay! We're starting small, but definitely want to let you all know to make sure you go to www.CWallSE.com, and once you get to the website, you can go to Shop CWall to get all the latest CWall merchandise. Now, sometimes I have stuff before everybody else, and that's okay. But if I give positive feedback on those items, guess what'll happen? You will see it on the website for sale. So please go ahead, Shop CWall. Make sure you're following on Instagram at CWall Sports, on Twitter at CWall SE, and on Facebook, CWall Sports and Entertainment to get all of the latest updates. And again, you'll be able to see all the different merchandise that's posted up there too. But just go to the website, check that out. Also, the Redskins are going to Miami in October. It's Sunday, October 13th. It's Columbus Day weekend. And oh yes, by the way, that is also Caravana weekend or a Carnival weekend in Miami. So, the Redskins are taking on the Dolphins. CWall is supporting Travel More Vacations in that trip. Make sure you reach out to us. Again, follow all the pages. All of the information is up there, as we would definitely love to have you join us on that trip. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be totally, totally awesome. So, let's jump in on the sports conversation. And oh yes, before we jump in, make sure you are sharing this show with your DC sports fan, loving family and friends. Just everybody. Share it. It's always great to watch the show later, but of course we love your live feedback. So make sure you're sharing with everyone who would love to take a part of the conversation. So let's start off with talking about the Nats. Okay, Sabrina, you might have to go back next week or whenever they play at Nats Park because they won. They won the series against the Mets. Now, see, this is what I enjoy about coming here every week and talking to you all. Because what's one of the things you all know I love to say? When is there a dull moment in DC sports? Never. Never. And so last week, well, really, honestly, throughout the season, but we're just gonna reference last week in this particular conversation. I was down and out in the dumps about the Nats. I was like, Lord, what is happening? Please help us. And I think the Lord heard me because things are looking better. I got a couple of stats here, couple information here. Looks like Patrick Corbin had an excellent game. Sean Doolittle, yes, that's what they say when he goes out there. Yeah. See, that's why I gotta go with. I'm going next time, so you can know, so she can know. That's what, but he stopped a late New York Mets rally, and the Nats came away. It was a pretty dramatic ninth inning finish. They came away with the victory today, 7-6. Today I was really just going to talk about Trey Turner. I really was. I was going to talk about shortstop Trey Turner that broke his finger. He got hurt back in early April. He will be, it looks like reports are saying he could be activated as early as tomorrow. So let's hope so, because I miss Trey. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like offensively, Trey is a factor, a positive. He brings a positive impact to the team, and I definitely can feel the impact of him not being there at the shortstop position. I don't even want to get to calling out players and everything like that, but all I'm saying is that position is lacking a great deal when Trey is not in the building. When he is not out there, you notice. So luckily he will be back soon. That's really all I wanted to say about that. I wanted to get that off my chest. I felt like that was an issue for me. I felt like I was having a little withdrawal. I was feeling all sad, like my best friend had moved to a new town or something like that. And I was just like, when does Trey get back? So looks like he will be back soon. It just doesn't seem like at that position that the team is deep enough to really still perform at even an average level, in my opinion, when he's out. So I will be elated, quite frankly, to see him return, whenever that is. If it's tomorrow, super. If not, we just gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens, y'all. Let me move on to the Wizards. I'm gonna move on to the Wizards. The NBA draft lottery was Tuesday night. And let's just go back to Tuesday night and just overall, just all the feelings and everything going on in terms of just leading up to the draft. I made a comment after the draft was over. I shared this with my guy, Kevin Queen. I said, was that stressful? Check in if you thought that the NBA draft lottery, for me, it was so much suspense. It was so intense. I was like, oh my goodness, what in the world? What is really going on here? So, going back to that, right? Originally, we're thinking, hey, the Wizards are without a general manager. John Wall is hurt and more than likely will not even play the entire next, what year is it, 2019-2020 season. Maybe the NBA would do the Wizards a solid. And you know, we going to be all right. And when I say that, I meant like top 5 pick. I'm like, okay, you know, maybe the odds are, you know, in the Wizards' favor. So I had the pleasure of going and linking up with some of my fellow Wizards media friends down at the Half Smoke in DC. Wonderful establishment. That was my first time there. Truly enjoyed myself there. And we all got together and we're looking at the TVs in suspense as they're pulling out all of the team logos, and they're going through who, all the numbers. So once we had made it into like the top 10, I'm like, here we go. I think we're going to be okay. With the 9th pick, Washington Wizards. Everybody was like, really? 9th pick? And here's my thought process here. And I see Cheryl says everyone wants the first pick. Absolutely. Everyone wants the first pick. You're not going to get a first pick, right? But the 9th pick was a bit of a dagger, even to myself, who selfishly, I asked a few people, do you think this is rigged? No, I don't think it was rigged. If the Lakers would have gotten the number 1 pick, I probably would have just been disgusted. But they did. But they did not. So I said, okay, it's not rigged. I don't believe any of that stuff is rigged. But at any rate, I said, 9th pick. This goes back to the conversations that we've been having in recent weeks about how important it is for the incoming general manager to be a great talent evaluator. Because all is not lost, folks, because the Wizards got the 9th pick. Sabrina, this is the first thing she said. She said, well, the 9th pick ain't bad. And it's not. It's really not. But I think now the pressure is on because who's going to do the picking? Now the pressure is on for the Wizards to hire somebody. And as we all know, and as we've all been saying, and of course we've been talking about this now for a minute, we know that the only asset, really is the only asset the Wizards have is Bradley Beal. And folks, teams want Brad. Okay? He is a hot commodity. And so, other than Brad, we got a draft. This has got to be a strong draft. And I did ask a few people, or ask in a different of my sports groups and fellow fans, who do you think, the Wizards should pick? And we're going to get into that as time goes on, because the draft isn't until June 23rd, or is it the end of June? Sometime. I don't want to say the wrong date, but it's in late June. So we got some time to think through that. But the general manager has to be better than Ernie, which, depending on who you ask, I'm better than Ernie. But I also did not put my name in the hat for that. Okay, we got a couple of comments online. Let's go. Is any of them with the Wizards? Let's talk about it.
Ricky Williams said the Wizards gonna suck again. Ended up with the worst pick than we anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
Bridget Neal said some of the best players weren't the top 5 that scouts look at. Sometimes those players who are hungry. Those players who are hungry are who the best. And I agree with Bridget. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be a first round pick.
You don't. You can to be great. It was a great. Let me pull it up. Let me try to pull it up and find it on my phone while we all here together. Y'all can see, because I like to shout out my fellow colleagues in the industry when they say things that are great. So Chris Miles said, and it was directly to Wizards fans, top 2 players in the East right now, meaning the top 2 players in the East right now, we're taking at 15. So everybody knows that's Kawhi and Giannis. Everybody knows them right now. And they were taken at number 15. And then 2 years ago, Donovan Mitchell was taken at number 13. So he's absolutely correct. But then what he says is one thing that we've all been saying. The draft could have an overlooked player, to Bridget's point, right? So have hope the new GM will find that guy. It's important, y'all. To be a skilled, highly skilled and professional talent evaluator is huge, especially when you got the ninth pick. Because to Cheryl's point, everybody not gonna get the first pick. So that doesn't mean you got the first pick. That means you get the best player in the draft. And even first picks slum. Yep. Some picks don't pan out all the time. So
because the NBA is way different from college.
It is. The professional level is totally different. So then we can still look at Ricky's point. Okay, I don't think the Wizards are going to suck again because of the pick. I think what we as Wizards fans need to understand is that this might take a tad bit more time than we anticipated. You know what I'm saying? This is truly, we're about to see the Wizards going into build mode. Because here's an honest thing. If you trade away Bradley Beal, but let me be professional about this. If you trade away Bradley Beal and you get a few other pieces, you can get something for Brad, but the reality is you in build mode right now. Because all you got is Brad. And you can't, in my book, I'm not trading Brad, but for the right price, anybody can get traded. That's just real. Right. But you still have to be smart, even if you trade. And I want to go into some of the players that some of the fans really like. We're going to probably get into that, in the weeks to come as leading up to the draft. Some great names. I'm not particularly excited about this draft. I'm not like, but it's to the point that so many of you have already made with the right GM. Just about all the Golden State's whole roster got drafted. Just about. You know what I mean? Just about. They're cool. This is drafting at its best. We know other players that get drafted. They didn't go to the big schools. They went to smaller schools. And so we don't need another Ernie. We don't need another Ernie. We don't want another Ernie. Let me just go. We don't want that because it set us back 100 years. So we don't need that. It set us back 100 years. So we have to start with what we have and go from there. Go from there. I'm truly hoping, and let's go through some of the names. Really, 2 names. We talked about a couple of the potential GMs a few weeks ago. And last week we just talked about the type of GM, the type of person, the type of talent evaluator, the type of leader, that this individual should be. But this week, it's out there that Troy Weaver from OKC, and that's a name familiar in this area, has had his second interview for the position. And Troy's done some great things out in Oklahoma. He just has. Let's go back. He's there when he drafted Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, James Harden. He can draft. And now, has he had the position of GM? No, but that's what it's all about, right? If you can operate and as a GM, it's time for you to be in that position somewhere. I think he's a person that just being here in DC in this area that folks will be happy with, for sure. Of course, Tim Connolly out in Denver, he's come up. Now that Denver is out of the playoffs, he's certainly an option. And for some, he's the top option because Denver is another team. They've been drafted. Look at the teams who have been drafted and drafted well. So now a Tuesday stamped. It's like everything that Ernie wasn't, this GM needs to be. So a skilled talent evaluator and a leader that, and I can't say this enough, a leader that has and breeds a culture of respect, right? Everybody can't just do whatever they want and be disrespectful. No, hey, we like to have fun and we like to, do all of those things. But there is a certain line that you don't want, players or anybody to cross. You know, not just players, leaders as well. There's certain lines that shouldn't be crossed. But that definitely stamped for me on Tuesday night. Oh yeah, the next GM got to know talent when they see it. They got to know talent. Like, it's cool. You know, we don't need the number one pick. Because I got about 5, 6, 7 different options. Because we've been watching film. We've been watching the tape. We've been scouting. We've been going out here. We've been talking to these. We see them. We really see them and see what they could be. To Ricky's point, Denver is well constructed and young. Exactly. That's why Tim Connolly is such a sought after prospect for this job. Tim Connolly, Troy Weaver. You know, everybody, to Ricky's point, somebody wants, ain't nobody, I don't think anybody's taking John's contract. John got hurt. I don't know who would pick it up. And that's why, why they would pick it up. Quite frankly, for what? You know, what would be the point? What would be the purpose? It's so much talent in this league. There's no point. You know what I mean? There's no point. And if I was another team in taking on that contract, I would be shocked if it ever got dealt. But, you know, I'm a huge fan of all of them. Hey, Cameron, I see you're on. Hey, Cameron. And then, you know, Cameron was saying this on Tuesday night. Whoever the new GM is, I still say trade back. I mean, anything is possible as long as you know who you're picking. And don't get me players. Remember when everybody was getting traded in the middle of the season? And Ernie done traded away this one and traded away that one. Don't swap me players for the same production. I had the same production. I didn't gain anything. So what's it for?
He didn't grow anything.
No, he didn't grow anything. You didn't get anything out of that. You got all those contracts off the books. But that's about it.
And when they draft, and if they could not sell the farm,
yeah,
they get caught up in another
situation. Exactly. So the thing of it is, this what I have accepted, and the Wizards are desperate now. But one thing I have accepted is that this might take some time. This might take some time. And a complete turnaround. I mean, this might be a person who comes in here and be like, you know, I don't think they would trade away. I don't know what they would do. I can only tell you what I would do. But even still.
But we also know that Bradley won a championship. He wants to go.
He wants a championship. But also, one thing that I've actually heard Brad say, and it's similar to what other, you know, guys across the league have said, they don't want to, well, not most, right? You know, we know there's stories that come out about this one wanting to be traded, that one wanting to be traded. Typically, the team that you get drafted into, that's the team you want to stay with. You got all types of, you know what I mean, you know, high aspirations and all of those things to win a championship with the team that drafted you. It means a lot. But they also know that that's not how the business works. And that's a sad, hard truth. That is a sad, hard truth. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, we got a lot of people chiming in on this topic. Y'all can tell I'm in here, probably I'm in here sweating, talking about it, made me worried, frustrated. But thank you. But but Tuesday night, that's what I said. I said, you know what? There it is. We need a GM that can draft. Because we've never had that. Okay? So, have I beat that one to death? Have I beat that topic to death, everybody? All right. Moving on to the Redskins. Let's say congratulations to Adrian Peterson on being named the Redskins Quarterback Club Player of the Year. Listen here. For any and all awards for the 2018-2019 season, just give them to Adrian Peterson, okay? Just hand it over, all right? He should get all the awards, as far as I'm concerned. as far as I'm concerned. But that was tremendous. I think that was absolutely great that he won that award. I couldn't, as you can see, I don't know a more deserving person. So OTAs, Redskins, we had rookie mini camp last weekend that I'm sure everyone has seen the reports and all those things and knows that it went well. Let me just tell y'all a little something. Folks are excited. They're really excited. And I'm just going to hold my excitement until I can't hold it anymore. And I just got to let it out and tell y'all. This is the right, these young guys that are coming in, they want the opportunity, they got the right level of energy, and they are definitely talented. We all won't know what they're going to do until they do it on the professional field. So right now, all we can do is be excited in knowing that they are excited and wanting to be a part of the team and wanting to give this their best shot and do all of those great things. So far, everybody's doing the right thing. They all saying the right thing. They looked great last weekend. So it's a positive atmosphere. Folks are feeling very, very good about this new draft class right here. I have to bring up my guy, Colt McCoy, even though this is not about the draft. I want to talk about Colt because Colt came up, and we've talked about Colt. Y'all should see the way Joy is looking at me right now because she about sick of Colt, and she don't want me talking about Colt. But can we talk about him? So Colt is coming off an injury, right? He's had quite a few injuries. He's had quite a few surgeries, and we all know Dwayne Haskins. First round pick. He's here. He's ready. He's excited. Case Keenum got traded here for the low. Quite frankly, for the low. And Case Keenum is excited. And he's ready. And he's fully, and let's be clear, they fully anticipate on being the number one, the starting quarterback. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, with that being said, it's going to be good. But I'm just talking about them too.
Oh, I was going to say,
but at the same
time, anything but that bitch.
But listen. Why are we, listen.
See what your fans are saying. They like, let Colt go.
I get that.
Colt,
but Colt,
question mark.
Here's the problem though. See, y'all gonna make me open the water. Colt is a very nice person. I say that every week. He's a nice person. But at the same token, listen to me. Hear me out. We got the Redskins they learned last year. You have to have more than 2 quarterbacks now. Anything can happen. We don't know. So, Colt, listen, he can be number 3. Well, listen, we know he's not going to be number 1. They wouldn't have did all of this if he was going to be number 1. We already know that. But at the same token, Colt will probably not be on the final roster. I mean, this guy, you got to be honest about it. Because typically, the Redskins like to carry 2 quarterbacks. You would think after last season, they'll say, you know what, though? We not playing like that no more. So we going to go ahead on and carry 3. But Colt really might get released. He truly may get released. And I'm just, I'm looking at stats here while I'm talking to you all, and it don't look so good for Colt. It doesn't. And I think Colt... Joy hard on Colt. Do y'all hear in the background? She hard on Colt. But it is overdue. It is overdue. And a lot of people are not in favor of the 3 quarterback carry, meaning you carry 3 quarterbacks on a roster. But I've always felt strongly about this topic, and that is, or one of the many things that I feel strongly about, is that if quarterback is the most important position on your team, then why not carry 3? That's just been, and last year, it got ugly. We're not even going to go back. Do I have to reminisce? Do we have to reminisce on my emotional breakdown when Mark Sanchez had to get out there? Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
if you're going to carry 3.
If you're going to carry 3. But
qualified.
But yeah, so this is going to be a battle. Look out for the quarterback battle. It's going to be good. It's going to be competition. I think every single position, almost, not every single position, but we got some good, of course, competition at quarterback. I think running back is set. Bryce Love is going to start on the PUP list. So we know, who the running backs are, which is strong. Mm-hmm. Thinking about that running back core gets me excited. There will definitely be, I want to look out for the competition at the left guard position. Let them battle it out. Because that is a huge need. I've been talking about a guard for the longest time. And now the Redskins got to do what they got to do. And people, to make sure they have the best player on the team in that position. So, y'all, we are almost just about at our time. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and joining in on the lively conversation. Don't forget, next week, we will be right back here Thursday at 7:30 p.m. You all have a beautifully blessed night, and I'll talk to you next week.